Assalamu alaikum class 7. Today, as you know, we are doing chapter number 1, eating and moving. Okay. So our today topic is meters and observers. Okay. And this is page number 7. Our topic is meters and absorbers. So, what are these emitters and absorbers? So, first of all, keep in your mind, emitters means given off. Emitters means given off. Okay. So, mark first line in your book. It is given in your topic, page number 7. Some surfaces are better at emitting thermal radiation. Okay. So, they are going to emit thermal radiation. So, what is the meaning of thermal radiation? Thermal radiation means heat energy. Means heat energy. Okay. So, what is the meaning of emitters? Emitters are those objects, those substances which are good for thermal radiation. Okay, which can absorb heat energy well. Okay, so good emitters of radiation are also called good absorbers. Okay, so good emitters are called good absorbers. Good absorbers. Okay. So now we will discuss this topic with the help of an example. White or silvery surfaces are poor absorber because they reflect most of the radiation. Okay. White and silvery surfaces. White and silvery surfaces. These are poor absorbers. Poor absorbers. So you can understand this line with the help of an example. We all of know about sun. That sun gives us light. Sun gives us heat energy. Okay. So the light of the sun consists of 7 colors. Okay. You also know that there are orange, white, green, blue, and many other colors in this rainbow. Okay. So when this light falls on white surfaces or shiny surfaces, okay, so the light will hit and reflect it back. What will be happen? It will be hit that object, white or silvery surface, and then reflected back. Okay, so some heat will be absorbed by white or silvery surface. But if we comparison this white or silvery surface with the dark surfaces, for example, if we take an example of there is a color that there is a black. So black has no color. So when the sunlight falls on it, so all colors will be absorbed in a black color. So that's why we have to say we should not wear black clothes in summer season. Why? Because the radiation, the heat energy of sun is so powerful than comparison to the other days. So when the light will fall on the black surface, so they will absorb all the light. So the black surface will be more hot as compared to white and silvery surfaces. Okay. So keep in your mind, white and silvery surfaces are poor absorbers. Okay. There is another example given in your book. That is why in hot sunny countries, houses are often painted white to keep them cool inside. So the areas of the world where there is a hot sunshine, so the houses are painted white. Why? Because the sunlight falls on it and then reflected back. So the some heat energy will be passed in the house and the house will be cooled inside. Okay. So as we see another example, this is given. It is given on page number 8. Okay. So there is another example of page number 8. Comparing emitters. How can we find comparing emitters? Comparing emitters. If we take two different objects, okay? If we take two different objects, then we can find, then we compare the emitters. So how this is possible? If you take two metal cans, okay, you can also see this diagram given on your page number 8. Page number 8, you can see that there are two metal cans, okay, and inside the cans there is a same amount of water is filled, okay, and there is a same temperature inside the metal cans. But what is the difference between two? Okay, so a can A has a dark surface, while can B has a shiny surface. Shiny surface. So what is this example? When we want to compare two different emitters, so we have taken two cans, so can A and can B. They all are made by same material. They all are made by metal. Okay. Secondly, they both have same amount of water inside it, and thirdly, they have same temperature. Okay. So, but what is the difference between two? The can A has a dark surface and the can B has a white or silvery surface. Okay. So what will be if you put them for some time in the sunshine? What will be happen? We will observe that can A will be heated up more quickly as compared to can B. What will be happen? Can A will be more hot as compared to can B. So what is the difference between two? Because can A has a dark surface. So dark surfaces absorbs more heat as compared to shiny or silvery surfaces. Okay, so this is an example. So look at your book. The result is given. Clearly, a dark surface is a better emitter of thermal radiation than a shiny surface. Underline in your book. Clearly, a dark surface is a better emitter of thermal radiation than a shiny surface. Okay. Then there is a graph is given in your book. That is time and that is temperature. Okay, so you can see the amount of can A and can B. This is can A and this is can B. Okay, so this graph shows us that can A absorb more heat as compared to can B. So why they absorb more? Because can A has a dark surface. So this experiment tells us that can A has a dark surface. Plate A has a dark surface. Has a dark surface. And plate B has a silvery surface. So what will be happen? The answer is very simple. Plate A has a dark surface and plate B has a silvery surface. But which things are common in them? They have a same size, okay? They both are made by metal, okay? And they both have equal distance from the thermal device, okay? You can also see in the diagram there are two plates. These are two plates. They are equal distance and the thermal device is okay. So it has a equal distance between two these plates. This is a plate A and this is a plate B. It has a dark surface and it has a silvery surface. So what will be happen? Definitely after the experiment, we okay, Betty, I was telling you, it is an experiment about comparing absorbers. If we want to compare the absorbers, we can do an experiment. Experiment is that they take two plates. These two plates are made by metal, okay? And what is the difference between two? One has a dark surface and other has a silvery surface, white surface. Okay, and I have put a thermal device in between two plates and they both plates have equal distance toward this device. Okay, so what will be happen when we start heating through this device? So the plate A will be heated more and quickly as compared to plate B. So this experiment tells us that dark surfaces are also good absorbers. What is the result of this? Absorbers. Okay. So these two experiment tells us when we compare images, you can see when we compare two images, we also find out that dark surfaces are good emitters. When we do this experiment for comparing absorbers, we came to know that dark surfaces are good absorbers. I hope you understand it. Okay. Now come to the next topic that is given. You can also see in your book. Some buildings have solar panels on the roof. You can see a diagram, page number 8 in your book. Okay. This diagram is given along with the questions. You can see some buildings have solar panels on the roof. Yes, we all of know many people have solar panels on the roof. So solar panels use thermal radiation from the sun. How solar panels work? They radiate the sunlight. Okay, radiate means they absorb the sun's heat energy. Okay, so the blackened layer absorbs the radiant and warms up the water flowing in the pipes. So what is happened? And underside the solar panel, there is a dark surface. So why these surfaces are made dark? Because dark surfaces absorbs more sunlight. So that's why they warm up the when the blackened layer is warm up, say it warms up the pipes, and because of that the water tank will be heated. Okay. These three examples are given to tell us about the comparing emitters, comparing absorbers. Okay. And the third example which I have discussed, which is that is a solar panel. Now come to the page number 9. We will discuss about the vacuum flask. Vacuum flask. We all of know we all have flask at our home. When we put, what is the function of vacuum flask? The function of vacuum flask is that how much a thing can be cold and how much a thing can be hot. Okay. So I will discuss vacuum flask with the help of a diagram. With the help of a diagram, vacuum flask. Okay, you can see it has some features that is called stopper. Okay, and the gap with air removed. Okay, it is a gap. Gap to remove air. To remove air and glass or steel walls. Glass or steel walls. And the last one is silvery surface. Silvery surface. So now we will discuss how this vacuum flask works. Okay. So what is a vacuum flask? A vacuum or thermos flask can keep drinks hot or cold for hours. Okay. So it can work and hold something for some hours. The flask has a number of features which reduce the rate at which heat flows in or out of it. Okay. Now we will discuss how heat is entered inside and how is outside. Okay. So it has some features. First is stopper. What is the? It has some features. First is stopper. So what is the function of stopper? Okay, you can see in the diagram. This is a stopper. Okay, so the stopper reduces heat loss by convection and conduction. We also study transfer heat. Conduction is happen only in solids. Okay, what is conduction? If conduction, when we put something hot inside it, maybe we create conduction and the whole heat is spread inside it and stopper keep the heat inside it. Okay. So and convection is happened. Definitely the flask is empty. So when we put some hot thing inside it, so there is a cold air inside it. So warm thing which have a warm air. So it replaces the cold air. Okay, so warm air will be spread inside the vacuum flask and keep the thing warm. Okay. Secondly is that the space between the walls and the air removed to so heat loss by convection and conduction. So second feature is gap with the walls. Second important thing is that gap with the walls. We all of know that actually the part of the flask is this area, okay? And there is a gap between this wall and this outside surface of flask can be made by plastic and it can be made by glass, okay? So the gap between these two walls, these are the inner walls which are made by silvery surfaces, shiny surfaces, okay, and there is a gap. It is a vacuum. So, what is the function of this vacuum? When any heat try to enter into the vacuum, that it is trapped over here in the vacuum spaces. So that's why a thing which is in the form of hot soup or in the form of cold air, it remains cold and hot inside the flask. And the third important feature is that silver lining of the walls. Silver lining of the walls. Silver lining of the walls. Okay, so these are three important features. First is stopper, second is gap with the walls, and third is silvery lining. Okay, so in a vacuum flask, we can see that there is a silvery lining inside the vacuum flask. So what is the function of silvery lining? Actually, its function is that no heat can enter. If any heat is entered inside the flask, it will be reflected, it will be hit the shiny surface and then reflected. Okay, so a vacuum flask, okay, because we are studying about the conduction and convection. So conduction is happened inside the thermos flask and convection is happened, and due to the gap and due to silvery surfaces, it stops the heat to enter inside the flask. So that's why when we put something inside the thermos flask, It can be hot and it can be cold. It will remain hot and cold for some hours. Okay. Now to get it to know what, which is given on page number 9, the vacuum flask was designed and invented by Scottish scientist Sir James Dewar in 1892. Underline in your book, the Thermos company was the first to mass produce vacuum flask for everyday use. Okay, so underline in your book. After that, your next topic is that more about changing state. More about changing state. I have told you in the start of the lecture that a matter has three states: solids, liquids, and gases. So how these states are changed? They also gave us an example. You can see in your book, page number 9. Okay, this example is given. You can see it is a beaker and this beaker is filled by ice. Okay, it is filled by ice cubes, and we all of know ice cubes is in the form of solid. Okay, and there is a stirrer. Okay, and there is another mercury thermometer temperature. Okay, so we put them. So what will be happen? First, ice cube is in a solid form. So this is called a solid state of matter. When we stir the ice cubes, you will see at 0 degrees centigrade, it will be melt and convert into a liquid state. Okay. And when we heat up that liquid at 100 degrees centigrade, this water begins to boil and will be evaporated and convert into steam. Okay. So this all movement of particles in solid in the form of ice cube, then liquid in the form of water, and then third change into steam. Okay, these three states are very important, and these three states tell us about the kinetic fluid. And I told you the movement of particles in all three states of matter is called kinetic fluid. Is that clear? Now there is another example given in your book. You can see, okay, this is a hilly area and there is a puddle. Okay, it is a hilly area and there is a puddle. Okay, inside the valley. Okay, so here is evaporation rate is more quick than others. Why? Because it is a puddle between the valley, so the heat energy is more strong in this area. So you will see after some time what will be happen, the whole water will be evaporated. Though the evaporation rate will be very fast in hilly areas. Okay. Now this is the last topic of your chapter. It is given page number 10. Okay, you can see it is a page number 10. So what is this? The graph shows the results of the investigation. So I will make a graph and will explain to you. So this is the last topic of your chapter. Okay, now we will discuss the changing of state with the help of a graph. Okay. So this is minus 30 degrees centigrade. Okay. And then comes to a 0 degree centigrade. It is a 0, and we all of know less than 0 degree centigrade there are minus numbers. Okay, and these minus number goes to the freezing point. So ice cubes have in a solid form and they have a temperature of minus 30 degrees centigrade. So what is happened with the ice? I have told you this is called a stage 1. This is called a stage 1. So what is happened in this side? Definitely minus 30 degrees centigrade. There are ice cubes. Okay, so at 0 degrees centigrade, they began to melt. Okay, they began to melt. This is called stage 2. So what is happened here? Ice, the water mix. Ice, water with the mix. Okay. So this is called a stage 2. Stage. This is stage. Then we will go to stage 3. Definitely, when we heat up the water, what will be happen? Here is a 100 degree centigrade. So we will go. So this is a boiling point. So this is a stage 3. And this is a boiling point. Stage 4. Stage 4. Okay. And what will happen? Water will convert into steam. Water and it will be mixed here in stage 4, and then ultimately it will be converted into steam. And ultimately it will be converted into steam. Why? Because more heat is added. Heat added. Okay. So this graph tells us here is a temperature is given in 0 degree Celsius grade. Okay. So minus 30 degrees centigrade, the ice cubes are in a solid form. So when they reaches at to 0 degrees centigrade, the ice water will be melt and convert into water. Okay, after 0 degrees centigrade, when it goes to the stage 3, definitely the boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade, so it will begin to boil here, and then ultimately it will be converted into steam. So these are the stages. First is stage 1, then there is a stage 2, then stage 3, and this is the stage 4. Okay, and we can also, what does the graph show? We also can understand this graph with the help of the explanation. Stage 1, the heat energy is rising the temperature of the ice. Stage 1, what is this? You can see it is going from minus 30 degrees centigrade to 0 degrees centigrade. So the heat energy is rising the temperature of the ice up to 0 degrees centigrade. And 0 degrees centigrade actually is a melting point. It is a melting point of a water. Melting point. Okay. 0 degrees centigrade. Then stage 2 is a very little temperature rise. In stage 2, little temperature will be rise. The heat energy is being used to allow water molecules to break away from their fixed position. So at this stage, the ice cubes will be break off and it will convert into water. And the stage 3, the heat energy is rising. Okay. And the temperature is rising and it goes to 100 degrees centigrade. 100 degrees centigrade is the boiling point of water. Okay, and after that, it will convert into heat. Okay, so this is a very simple graph. Okay, so in this stage, we can observe 3 states of matter. What is this? Solid, liquid, and gas. So ice cubes in the form of solid at minus 30 degrees centigrade. Liquid, that is a water, at 0 degree centigrade. And there is a steam. Okay, it is at 100 degree centigrade. So these are the 3 states of matter in which we can observe the different stages of the evaporation, condensation, and melting point. Okay, so now your chapter has been ended. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you so much.